In this episode, what's important to you within your wedding ceremony?
Hi there, bridal couples to be.
Welcome to How to Get Married in Holland.
The ultimate wedding podcast of and about the Netherlands.
We, wedding ceremony experts, aka celebrants Daphne and Jasperin, share all ins and outs of getting married in our flat and fabulous country.
Enjoy listening.
So Daphne, shoot!
Yeah, what's important to you within your wedding ceremony? Because there are also a lot of options you can choose from when it comes to the moment your marriage is about to start. And well, there are so many details, but for now, let's focus on 4 key elements, shall we?
Good idea.
So that's, of course, the room, the ceremony room. It can also be outside, but for now, let's say the room, the setting of the ceremony. The one who's talking, or the most of the talking, your celebrant. Who do you see in front of you? And of course, your guests.
Yep.
And the 4th one is, of course, the 2 of you, being
Most
the bridal
important.
couple, the wedding couple.
Last but not least.
Yeah. So let's start with the first, Jasperine,
Okay.
the room, the setting.
The setting. So what you have to think about is when you have your seating plan is whether you want to be facing your guests or whether you want to be in a traditional setting with your back to the guests. That's a very important decision to make, because if you face your guests and you can actually see what's happening within the public, within your crowd, there will be more interaction. I think it's a very, very nice way of bringing in the interaction by facing, when a couple is actually facing their guests. Also, another choice could be within the seating plan. Do you want it to be with an aisle in the middle? Do you want it to be a half circle? I don't know what more options. I think those are the main options as in terms of seating plan.
Yeah, I
Don't know
once
whether
had a wedding ceremony outside, which was around a beautiful tree, and everyone was in a full circle before the tree.
Oh, right. Well, that's
So
very nice as well.
yeah. But it also had a disadvantage because the ones at one part of the circle, the guests, they saw the bridal couple on their back.
The back.
So yeah, they have a different view. And I agree, you have more an atmosphere of togetherness
Yeah.
when you face each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be full frontal. You could be
No.
like in a diagonal
Yeah.
shape,
A slight angle.
even.
Yes.
Yeah, slight angle.
Yeah.
So
Which
So-
also gives the wedding celebrant the possibility to actually face you. If both of you are in sort of an angle,
Yeah.
then there's contact between the celebrant and the bridal couple and the public in a really nice way.
Indeed. Plus, it makes for better pictures.
Yes.
Because
true.
when a wedding
Yeah. Oh,
photographer takes a picture of the 2 of you, you have a more steady background instead of all those heads of your family and friends.
Yeah.
And I know you love them, but it makes for a more beautiful picture to...
So in more aspects, that's a good option.
Yeah.
So what about the wedding celebrant?
Yeah, of course. So the wedding celebrant is talking most of the time. And when you think about a ceremony, a bespoke ceremony, which takes about 45 minutes,
Yes.
it could be even longer, you want that someone to be you like to listen to, who appearance appeals to you, because he or she will appear in your pictures and even in your video if you choose to have one. But also their voice, their style.
You want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, You
with
have to feel that match, that
yeah,
connection, like we
yeah,
discussed before
yeah,
in earlier episodes.
yes,
Yeah, and if he or she is an experienced celebrant, let's say
mm.
um, she can talk you through all the different options
Oh yes.
within the ceremony. So you really get to brainstorm together to make it really your own.
Do you take them through all those options?
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
do as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there, I've counted them one time. There are more than 70 options.
different options.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can choose from to
mm.
make the ceremony, yeah, really
Yours.
you. Yeah, and there's no right or
Yeah.
wrong there. It's
No.
just what really suits you
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
speaks to you,
Yes,
really.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So we've got the wedding celebrant, and then the third one you talked about was the guests. How to involve the guests.
yeah. So take a look at your guests, because who are they? Are they all adults,
Mhm,
or are there any children
mhm,
joining you during the
mhm.
ceremony? And if so, how old are they? Because, even if you have the most wonderful wedding celebrant in the world with the greatest speech of all times, for children, the ceremony takes a long time.
Yes.
After like 15, 20 minutes,
Mm,
especially with young
mm,
children, they lose their
mm,
focus.
mm.
And it's only natural. So they want to play, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does provide fun moments sometimes.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm sorry, this is my throat again. If you have an experienced speaker, he or she, let's say she, can actually make sure that the children do feel involved
Yeah.
and that they are happy, that the children stay happy and that they understand what's going on. Because, sometimes they don't understand what's going on. And with small sentences, you can actually make them feel included within the ceremony or,
Yeah.
or bring like some a painting, a drawing, something they can draw for the couple. You can actually involve them in different ways.
Yeah.
Or, of course, you could make sure that there is a nanny.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the time, the venue has a separate room where there can be a nanny,
Mm,
entertaining the kids
mm,
with toys,
yeah,
games,
yeah,
watch a movie even. So they can feel the freedom to walk out the ceremony
yeah,
room, or even go to the nanny at the beginning. So they never join you in the ceremony room.
yeah,
But I can
yeah,
imagine if you have kids of your own, you want to make them feel included.
yeah.
And then it's up to the wedding celebrant also. Please discuss it with him or her.
Yes,
The options to give your kids a very special task.
which
It,
they love.
yes,
They
they
love.
do.
They feel important, and they're always happy. And it's always a nice moment if you can include your own kids if you have them.
Yeah.
So, what about the guests, the adult guests? How can you
Well, what
communicate
language do
them?
they speak? And you may say, well, Dutch, of course, but no. It could be other languages,
Yeah.
Dutch and English, or
Mhm,
where do they come from?
mhm.
It's also very nice, I think, to make everyone feel really included and seen and appreciated.
Yeah.
So I always try to welcome them in another language, and you speak even more languages, right? So
Yes.
you can really make your own story within a combination
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's a great added value because people know the couple, and when they hear the story and then in their partly in their own language, it brings them into the ceremony, and you can have the laughter and the tears because they actually understand.
yeah,
And some guests may even want to say something themselves,
yes,
if that's
yes,
all right with the bridal couple, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah, for example, the witnesses,
Mhm.
perhaps they can share
Yeah.
something about the bond they share
Mhm.
with the couple,
Mhm. Mhm.
or a family member can do a beautiful reading.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love that. It's that is always very emotional as well. I think it's very nice if a couple likes that. It hardly ever happens, but I do believe that it could be an added value to a ceremony.
yeah, it
Mm.
does. Yeah. But you can save the speeches for dinner.
Yeah,
Because
sure,
otherwise the ceremony
sure,
can take too long. But
sure.
a beautiful reading that really
Yeah,
adds to the story, the
yeah,
love story.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But the celebrant is can also play a big role in that. If anybody wants to contribute, that's at least what I do. I
Mm-hmm.
always get in touch with those people and ask them, okay, what do you want to say? Making sure, first of all, that if they want to contribute something, that I'm not saying that already
Yeah.
prior to their
You don't want to
speaking.
steal their thunder,
Yes,
right?
and
Yeah.
also controlling the actual length of their contribution.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you don't want it to become lengthy and tedious. It
Yeah.
has to be smooth and swift and cheerful.
Yeah.
So
Well, if
yeah,
you've chosen a great celebrant, he or she is the wedding director
yeah,
as well
yeah, within the
when
ceremony.
it comes to the
Yeah,
ceremony.
yeah, the
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah.
And
So,
then
and
last but
yeah,
sorry, go on.
last but not least,
Yeah, the bridal couple
of
itself.
course.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the two of you, what makes you feel relaxed? Because I
Yeah.
think that's the most important thing, that you can relax and really lean back and listen to the lovely story
Mm,
and enjoying the proud faces of your loved
mm,
ones.
mm.
You
That's
can look at them,
the most
yeah,
important thing.
within the ceremony setting, indeed.
What do you
Um,
want as a couple?
Yeah. And
Mm,
it could be, when it comes to vibe of the ceremony, the
mhm.
atmosphere, do you
Yeah,
like it to be informal
yeah,
and with humor and maybe
yeah.
some interaction?
Yes,
Or do you rather prefer a more formal setting?
yes. Yeah.
Um,
Traditional vows or less traditional vows,
yes.
whatever suits you. Music can actually contribute to the atmosphere of the ceremony at different moments. So that's very important as well.
Yeah.
It's all about what you want as a couple, right?
Yeah. And do you feel
Mm.
comfortable saying something personal to one another? Oh, I
Mm.
always think that's such a beautiful moment.
Beautiful, but very
Yeah.
scary for most couples.
Yeah. But we have solutions for that, right? As
Yes,
being
always.
celebrants to make it more easy for
Yes,
you.
yes, we can
So
help them.
yeah, maybe we can talk about that in a later episode. How to make your personal
Wedding
extras
vows.
to your
Yeah,
ceremony.
good
Yeah,
idea. Let's do that.
yeah.
Well,
So
I would say talk soon.
to be continued.
Bye. Thanks for listening to How to Get Married in Holland.
We look forward to share more about organizing your wedding day in the Netherlands in the next episode.
Hit the subscribe button so you won't miss anything.
Any questions in the meantime?
Please ask wedding celebrants Daphne or Jasperin. You can find us, plus the show notes, on Instagram.
And if you love this podcast, please leave a review.
It gives us a higher ranking, so more fun international couples with Dutch wedding plans will be able to find us.
Until next time.